Oi gente, B.E.D brewer aqui. Today we're going to be making some mimosas so that we can dispense it from the Exsun beer dispenser. Now what we're going to need is 750 milliliters of a sparkling white and 250 milliliters of the orange juice. That's what I'm going to make. It should be about 1/4 of the height of this. I believe this is a 4-liter plastic bucket, and we're going to go ahead and get this done right now. I'm going to pour the champagne in first. I'm not sure if it makes any difference. We are going to get some spuma, but that's okay. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and get out the accessories to go ahead and get this guy cinched down. Go from there. So we are going to require the plastic dip tube, the carboy connector, the liquid out line, and the gas in line. So first we go ahead and get these. Screw the rising pipe in place. Fit in there firmly and come down. Now what we need to do is get both of these hooks onto or underneath the carboy handle. And then we're going to go ahead and release this. Pull out all of our accessories that we might have left in here. This inside. Now we're not going to be plugged in just yet. This is very important. Now we're going to start out with our liquid out tube. Okay, so now what we do is open the tap and thread our plastic tube through. Note we're going to be just below the tap here, the plastic, and this black stopper is going to stop right before or right at the end of the tap. And we're going to close it up. Now remember, this is going to be a friction to close, so it pinches that tube closed. We want to make sure that this is all the way back. Now this already came with one of the gas hoses connected, and they are all the same. If you would like to change it, you just pinch this as you pull it up. But we're going to just go ahead and have this connect here and connect here. It's important that right now that the unit is off. Okay. Finally, we're going to visually inspect to make sure there are no kinks on the tubes. We need to make sure that there's going to be good liquid flow as well as good airflow all the way through this. If there's any pinches, just like with a garden hose, it's not going to allow flow of gas or liquid effectively. Now we are going to turn on the airflow and close the lid. Now we move the unit back to where the plug is. Make sure that the unit is off. Plug the unit in, set up our drip tray, and turn it on. Now you might hear a little bit of the compressor work. This is going to be equalizing the pressure inside of the container, and you are definitely going to hear the compressor kick on so that it can start cooling down all of the liquid in there to get it to temperature. And there you can see it's currently at 71 degrees on the inside of the unit, so it's got to cool down both the inside of the unit and the sparkling white and orange juice. Even though I pulled them both out of the refrigerator and they're fairly cool, the unit itself still needs to cool down. Now I'm going to allow this unit to cool down for about 10-15 minutes. The temperature is already dropping very fast, and like I said, the beverages in here were already cool, so I'm just waiting for the unit to cool down to the temperature so that I can get a nice good flow. The tubes need to cool down a little bit, as well as the inside air pocket on the inside around the carboy. Now after the compressor goes ahead and puts in all of that pressure, we can dispense. Now you don't have to use my recipe, and you certainly don't have to only put in 1 liter of liquids. It did look like that was a 5 liter bucket, and yeah, so you could put up to 5 liters of any liquid that you want. And there you go. It gives us a nice pour with a pretty good head. Now it is going to be a little bit slower than a regular keg. That's because the tube here is roughly 1/3 the diameter of the tube that carries out of a standard keg line. So yeah, there you go. Working quite well. I'm going to go ahead and continue to dispense for a few days. This is all I'm going to dispense today. Tomorrow I'll continue on, and we'll see if how long the carbonation keeps, and see until it starts getting a stale flavor. So if you enjoyed this episode, if you learned something, if it made you decide on whether or not to purchase this particular dispenser, give me a thumbs up. And if you're interested in learning more about beer dispensers, home brewing, ingredients for home brewing, or brewing equipment, start now and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.